Hi guys, welcome to the coding challenge by Asim Jain. And in the last challenge, we have implemented the doubly linked list. We coded it from scratch. So we were able to add a first adding from the back, from the trailer, and then removal methods and printing them out and counting them. So we did a lot of good work in our last video. So we are on the concluding part, and I would also like to tell you the reason why we need this doubly linked list, like what's the purpose. So you can use this doubly linked list for both to implement the stack and the queue. And Java by default gives you a doubly linked list, not the singly linked list. Singly linked list is good to implement the stack, wherein you add item from one end, like from front, and you keep removing that. So last item added, last in will be a first out. Like whatever the last in, that would be a first out. But if you have to implement the queue, which means your first in will be first out and last in would be last out. So you will keep adding from front whatever the item comes. And then once they are here, then you add from last. And then when you remove from first. So this item got added, then this item got added, then this item got added. So you are add from the back and then opposite side, like remove from the front. So that's the use case. Now let's go back to our code and then let's finish the task, the coding task which we were doing before. So here is our code. So there, when we were like, it was actually copy paste error. It was, what we say as anti-pattern. So we were getting a test case failed, and the reason is our reference when we were printing forward was not proper, but for backward everything was good, everything was great. So to fix it, I debugged in the code to save you time. I'm just telling you this upfront. So we implemented this method when we were removing the last just to avoid the NPE null pointer exception. And then I just copy pasted the same thing. I updated this reference but forgot this. So what we are supposed to do is first dot previous is null, because when you remove the first, your old first might have a previous reference. But in case if your first, the new first, which means your new first is not null. If your new first is not null, then you have to set this. And as soon as you do this, all your test case would pass. And what are our test cases is, first we created a doubly linked list array, and each time when we created an element, we were adding the previous and next element. So previous would be null, of course, because you are adding from first, and the first would be the new, the existing first will be the next for this guy. So that's what we were trying to do it here with some conditions, increasing the size and stuff like that. Same thing got replicated for the remove. It's just that we have updated some pointers to make the respective or the corresponding changes. Then we implemented the remove first and the remove last by updating the pointers. And that's what we tested. First, we added 3 items from front, added the size, printed them, added from last. Everything was fine as in a sequence. Then we started removing from front, we started removing from last, and then we ultimately we got the list to be parished and still make sure that there are no errors. So I hope you enjoyed this coding challenge. I'm sharing this code which is in my GitHub, so you can have full access to my code if you go to github.com prem asim, or if you search here like prem asim, you will find my repository. Let's go here. Sorry, guys. Right. So I have published a book on design pattern. So you might get access to Java 9 code and then also design pattern using Java 8. This is the place where you will find the code. So in code base number 3, you will find in data structures all these doubly linked lists and stuff like that. Thanks for watching and enjoy your day.